Alumni, please settle down in your allocated seats soon. I request the student volunteers to help the alumni who are still standing to find their allocated seats.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the 16th Annual Alumni Meet of IIT Kharagpur. A request, please keep your mobiles on the silent mode while the proceedings are on. I welcome on stage the General Secretary, Students Alumni Cell, Ms. Vasanta Majeti, for her introductory address to the assembled guests.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here on this joyous occasion of the 16th Annual Alumni Meet. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the Golden Jubilee Batch of 1969, the Ruby Jubilee Batch of 1979, and the Silver Jubilee Batch of 1994. And all the special guests assembled here. It is our pleasure to be presented the opportunity to rekindle your favorite memories as we take you on a tour across your beloved campus for the next 3 days. We, at Students Alumni Cell, have put our hearts and souls into trying to make this meet ever so glorious, and we hope to make the chords of your heart resonate with the same tempo it used to in the good old days. We wish that the 16th edition of the annual alumni meet serves as a ticket to your golden days that allows you to experience those joyous moments of the carefree college life again. The only thing constant in the past meets that I've attended are the ear-wide smiles, the endless hugs, the countless sights reminiscent of the past that they cherish so much. Several months of hard work, numerous days of struggle, and countless hours of tenacity have been invested to make the 16th annual alumni meet Now, let's take a trip down the memory lane by looking back at some precious moments captured in the previous edition of the annual alumni meet.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. I welcome the following dignitaries on stage. Our respected Dean, Alumni Affairs, Professor Subroto Chattopadhyay. Our most respected Registrar, Professor B.N. Singh. Our most honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathy Chatterjee. May I now request Dean... May I now request the Dean Alumni Affairs to deliver his welcome address.
Ladies and gentlemen, our eminent alumni, my respected colleagues, staff, and dear students, welcome to the 16th Annual Alumni Meet. This is an occasion we look forward to every year with a lot of excitement and expectations. You can even say that we start thinking about the next alumni meet the moment we see off the last guest on the campus. Every year, we try our best to live up to this wonderful legacy and provide you all an even better experience than the previous year. We will not disappoint you, I promise. The buzz around the annual alumni meet is a collective one. We are pleasantly surprised every year by the enthusiasm the alumni show for the meet. There is such tremendous eagerness and yearning to return, to revisit the once frequented halls of residence, the corridors of the department, to walk the same path, to laugh together, to feel if the sun is as strong or the breeze as fresh as they felt a long time ago. So the meet becomes an annual festival for which we are all prepared together. Batches who are nearing their 25th, 40th, or 50th year prepare months ahead before the meet by blocking off days in their calendar, making travel plans, and getting together to plan what best gift they can give to their alma mater. On behalf of the Institute, I thank you all for making the meet such a joyous occasion every time. The annual Alumni Meet is a time for the alumni to explore, discover, and reconnect. Amidst the fun and laughter, the alumni also serve a serious responsibility towards the alma mater. Through a reconnection with the Institute, the alumni of IIT Kharagpur make sure that they further the development of the Institute in every way possible, be it in infrastructure development, initiating scholarships and grants, placements, arranging for guest lectures, or industry interaction. The Institute has always found its alumni by its side. This connect speaks volumes about the deep bond that the alumni have with the alma mater. We celebrate this bond during the annual meet and form fresh connections every year. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the founding endowment batches of 1969 and 1994. A number of other batches are also close to their targets, so let us also encourage them. I accord a special mention to one alumnus, Shri Ritesh Ranjan, BTech Mechanical Engineering of the 1997 batch, who was engaged with all that the Institute had to offer, enthusiastically participating in all aspects of campus life, including hall events, gymkhana, and department activities. An ever-smiling person, he is remembered in every conversation among his batchmates, and as the live wire of the batch. Ritesh passed away in an accident in 2009, leaving behind a legion of grieving friends. A group of Ritesh's batchmates, led by Mr. Parijat Ghosh, came forward to set up a scholarship in the memory of their departed friend. The scholarship is instituted to recognize and support excellence in academics in the domain of mechanical engineering for an undergraduate student, and carries a value of 20,000 per month payable for 10 months from July to April each year. And we'll make the announcement for the first recipient later. We are happy to announce the first recipient of this scholarship, Mr. Aniruddha Shaha, who is a second-year BTech student of mechanical engineering. Can we have a big hand for him? Thank you. Talking of students, the incumbent students are an inseparable part of this celebration. They take a lead role in arranging the celebrations, and perhaps for a reason. In a few years' time, they will be exchanging places and filling up the auditorium, but on the other side. But that is not the only reason. The alumni they welcome each year become their role models, they emulate them, and try to follow their footsteps. Be it imparting soft skills or in a pep talk, the alumni never fail to inspire them. We hope that this connection, this bond, is strengthened with every passing year. We look forward to your suggestions on how we can improve our services. We also hope that the next few days will be as fun-filled and happy for you as it will be for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful speech. IIT Kharagpur is proud to have amongst its alumni a set of people who have distinguished themselves by their outstanding service to the Institute. Their impact is profound, and the results would have been impossible to achieve without their initiative. The Distinguished Service Award are an appreciation of their commitment. I request our respected Dean Alumni Affairs to introduce the DSA awardees of the year. I request our Honorable Director to confer the awards and our Registrar to accompany the Director. I also request all the Deans present in the auditorium to come on stage for the DSA awards. I entreat our awardees to say a few words before they leave the stage.
Our first awardee is Mr. Arun Prakash Das, 1967-69 BSc, MSc, Geology, Nehru Hall. Sri Arun Prakash Das has retired as the Director, Geophysics from Geological Survey of India. Sri Das has held the position of Honorary Secretary, Treasurer, and the President of the TAA Kolkata chapter. In the days prior to mobile and WhatsApp, Sri Das had worked tirelessly for the networking and get-together for Calcutta alumni. Arun Prakash Das.
So thank you very much for this honor. It has been a long journey for me as a alumnus of this institute, and as an alumnus of this institute, I can only tell that the effort I've put in is not alone. It's also with the support of all the other alumni members of this, of the other departments and other years who are in Calcutta. Calcutta was the first, Calcutta had the first alumni chapter to be built in India, and it flowered ever since in the 70s possibly, or even later. And it had a total strength of about 1,000 alumnus in the total roll. And we had been able to gather all the information regarding all the alumnus during all the period of time. Thank you.
Our next awardee, Mr. Sabesh Subramaniam, 1983 BTech Chemical Azad. Sri Sabesh Subramaniam is the Director General of Global Environment Solutions Private Limited at Chennai. Sri Subramaniam held the position of President of Chennai chapter from 2013 to 17. He has been an active participant in the IIT KGP EC forums with valuable inputs for improvement, and has been actively engaged in drumming up support and CSR funding for the Sandhi project together with United Way, Bengaluru. Sabesh Subramaniam.
Thank you so much. What can I say? I've been coming here for the last few years, and the sense of gratitude, the sense of belonging, and the sense of pride just keeps increasing. I wish to thank the entire team for what they've done, and I wish to assure you that we are always there. Thank you so much.
Our next recipient, Mr. Prabir Kumar Gupta, 1965 BTech ME PH. Professor Prabir Gupta was advisor to the Vice Chancellor and Dean of the School of Management at Adamas University since June 2016. He was also the Dean of the Vinod Gupta School of Management and the founder head of the Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Law, both at IIT Kharagpur. Professor Gupta was the first recipient of the B.C. Roy Gold Medal for being the best outgoing all-rounder student at the institute. In his final year, he was the Vice President of the Technology Students Gymkhana. Professor Prabir Kumar Gupta.
Professor Chakravarty, Professor Chattopadhyay, all the respective deans, and I'm going to call all of you friends because I feel quite old and yet young being amongst you. While I was coming up, PPC, director said, say a few words. I have a propensity for talking too much, but I must say I feel very humbled at this recognition because the concept of working for the service of IIT as an alumnus was not really in me ever. But it just went on. I just got swung into doing some things with friends and organizing and whatever. I do not wish to pontificate, but if you see this tie which I'm wearing here, it was at the Pan IIT meet in Washington on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of IIT, and they gave me out this. On that occasion, the Senate of USA recognized the contribution of IITians in the US in Silicon Valley. And the governor of Maryland made an announcement at the inaugural speech and whatnot. So it was a great thing. And there we had, I think Arjun was there, Rajat Gupta was there, others were there, so many of them, Mehta. And the talk of brand building of IIT was mentioned. They said that IIT as a brand has to be established to make it worthwhile. And from there, of course, there was no looking back. In the year, when was 9/11? In the year 2001, 2, whatever, I went to the US and I was setting up a small export company of my own. I just took a leaflet and went and met a friend's friend who was expected to give me an order. He looked at the pamphlet. I said, IIT, must be good. Then he said, pamphlet, looks good. How much did it cost to produce it? He implied that producing a pamphlet is no problem. But then he said, look, friend, I'm going to give you an order. The conditions will be no advance. You deliver it to my satisfaction, I'll give you $20,000. And I was off. That's how I got my first order as a software exporter. Having said that, okay, the story goes on. And then I came back to Kharagpur in the academic world and saw what the world was like. Before this, for me, the perception of what world was on the academic was virtually nix. On the corporate world, tell me anything about the rat race, how to proceed, how to progress, climb up the ladder. I can tell you any of the tricks and what to do. And I must confess that I've been reasonably successful, no regrets. But then, I found here what was the condition of the education in India, in Kharagpur, and whatever was happening here. Professor Dubey nominated me into the subcommittee for higher technical education in the planning ministry, and I got exposed to how much need there was to improve the quality of education for everyone in India, and broad-basing the excellence that was developing. Why am I saying this is that there is need for service for IIT by the alums. The college, university needs it, and the alums need to recognize it because they contribute to the strength of the university, and our brand continues to grow even now. Today, if you see the changes that have taken place and the focus and the public perception, now at least I can say from what I see and the various messages which come out of the shift that has taken at IIT Kharagpur. If you read Professor Chakravarty's messages on Facebook and elsewhere, the institute is going places, but how many people know it? There is need for others to know it. And there is also need for all of us from all over the world, wherever we are, to pump in our resources, be it money, be it knowledge, be it through network, be it through whatever. That need is there. So, and of course, connecting amongst our friends, the network, so that spread the word around. I guess that's the perspective I have of service by the alums for IIT Kharagpur, and I would encourage all of you to give off your best. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient is Ms. Meenakshi Kaul Basu, 1984, BSc Physics, SNIG. Ms. Basu has worked as an engineering leader at several high-tech companies, including Texas Instruments, Sun Microsystems, Oracle, Siemens, Wipro, and Ericsson. Most recently, she is working at an early-stage startup, STEM Away. She is currently the president of the Pan IIT Bay Area Alumni and the IIT Foundation San Francisco Bay Area chapter. As a GSEC sports at IIT Kharagpur, and she rides a motorcycle, Royal Enfield. In 1983-84, Meenakshi was the first woman of all the IITs to be elected to the student body. Meenakshi Kaul Basu.
So the last time I was standing at the podium in Kharagpur was when I was at GSEC Sports. I'd like to thank PPC and all the deans for conferring this award to me. This is a very, very special award, partly because my entire family is from Kharagpur in some sense. My father, my brother, my husband, and myself. And this means a lot to me and my entire family. So I dedicate this to my dad, from somebody who I have learned to really give back to the Institute. Thank you very much.
I now read out the next recipient's name, Pran Kurup, 1989 BTech, Electrical, Nehru Hall. Shri Kurup was instrumental in starting the alumni initiatives of IIT Kharagpur in the US and was very active in organizing alumni activities and events. He was also the president of the Silicon Valley Indian Professionals Association, SIPA, for several years. Shri Kurup had a strong entrepreneurial spirit, which he combined with his love of teaching and interest in education to start an e-learning company, Vitalect, in 1997. He continued to be president and CEO of the company until his unexpected death in 2016. To receive this distinguished service award, we have his wife amongst us, who also happens to be an alumni of IIT Kharagpur, in fact from my own department. Lakshmi, may I call you to kindly accept it? Our next recipient is Parthasarathy Chatterjee, Kaku. 1987 BTech CSRK. Shri Chatterjee is driving energy, trading and risk solution and technology strategy for global LNG trading systems at Shell Trading and Supply. Partho has been an active volunteer for IIT Alumni since 1991 in Houston, Texas. He has held various leadership roles: IIT Foundation board member, president of the IIT Kharagpur Houston Alumni Chapter, steering committee member of IIT 2013 Global Conference, trustee and board member of IIT Alumni of Greater Houston. Partho.
Thank you. It's a great honor to receive it from your hallmate, department mate, floor mate, PPC. So thanks for all the tempo and what you have taught me at KGP. Thanks to all the deans, thanks Shubroto, and thanks to all of you. the KGP community. And, you know, I dedicate this award to my father. Kaku, my name came Kaku from cacophonics. I had a lot of tempo. And I dedicate to my father, who was the epitome of my tempo. So, you know, carry on the torch. It's a brotherhood and sisterhood of IIT KGP. Everywhere in the world, we have someone who can pick up the phone, and it has really happened to me at 5 o'clock in Geneva, who comes and rescues me from a snow-trapped train in Geneva. That's KGP spirit. KGP spirit waits for your KGP ka tempo. KGP ka tempo. KGP ka tempo. KGP spirit is when your wife loses your father, her father, single with 2 kids, going back home. Someone waits at the Mumbai airport so that she can make the transition from the international to domestic flight. That's KGP spirit. KGP spirit is about when someone loses the job, you call everyone to find a job for him. That's KGP spirit. KGP spirit is about a lady who lost everything, stranded in Seattle. PPC gets a call from the MHRD. What happened to that lady? Homeless. I get a news about a KGP lady stranded in Seattle. Everyone in the world trying to help her, and gets a Indian passport within 2 weeks. That's KGP spirit. And my only request to all of you, we are all there because of the KGP spirit. Let's continue to give back to KGP so that others get enlightened by KGP spirit. KGP ka tempo. KGP ka tempo. KGP ka tempo. And finally, my dedication to my friend, batchmate, hallmate, and my VP who's coming back and visiting KGP after 14 years, Rahul Bhargava. Hats off, Rahul. And you stand for all the archaeites and all my batchmates behind me. So thank you. Thanks a lot to all of you. You are my brothers in arms. Thanks.
Our next DSA recipient is V. Ganesh, 1991 BTech NALLR. Sri Ganesh is the Deputy Head, Submarine Design and Engineering Center, Larsen & Toubro, Powai. In 2014, he got elected as the General Secretary of the TAA Delhi chapter. In addition to the contribution towards TAA, he helped enable employment for IIT Kharagpur graduates, both in the Indian Navy and in Larsen & Toubro. Ganesh implemented a program where every year the senior members of TAA mentor the JEE rankers of the year towards various courses and opportunities at IIT Kharagpur. V. Ganesh.
Director sir, deans, faculty members, senior alumni and the spouses, friends. I'm truly thankful for this great honor. I have no words to express. In fact, I would like to acknowledge the support and the guidance of the various presidents of the Delhi chapter of TAA, from whom I have learned a lot. They've actually guided me, and in fact, it would not be much to say that they have shaped my career and my thinking. I would like to acknowledge a few names. Mrs. Neeta Sharma, Mr. Arun Kochar was here, Commander Jetli, General Bhattacharya, under whom I've had the great honor and the privilege to serve the association. The association, in my opinion, redefined a common identity of a larger fraternity, the contribution to which only enhanced our affiliation to this wonderful institute and linked our hearts for a common cause. I thank you once again for this honor, and before I conclude, I have a message for the youngsters. Keep the bond strong and the flame alive. Thank you.
Our next recipient, Ms. Ratun Lahiri, 1991 BTech MESN. Ratun Lahiri combines 2.5 decades of business leadership and global consulting experience. She is based at London and is currently raising a focused impact fund across 3 sectors and geographies as managing partner of Unicorn Impact. Ms. Lahiri has been the pioneer member in launching UK chapter in 2017 and became its founding president. The chapter now boasts of 330 members and actively supports the mission and interests of IIT KGP and its alumni. Ms. Ratun Lahiri.
Thank you. Thank you, Director PPC, Deans, fellow KGPians, and the KGP, the wider KGP family, because you're all KGP to me. I cannot tell you, what this award means to me. Like Meenakshi, and others have said, to me this is family. My father, A.K. Lahiri, RP Hall, Mechanical 1960 batch, regaled me with stories of IIT, and I grew up thinking of it as a hallowed, magical place. And I was thrilled, when I got in here. I still remember the thrill, when I stood outside the gates and saw, the institute. I met my husband here, Bhaskar Majumdar. We share much in common, including a profound shared love of institutes. KGP means it's not just an institute to me, it's an idea, it's a thought, it's a beautiful dream, and a dream that stays with me all my life. Next year, we are planning a mega event in London called IIT KGP London 2020. It's still on the drawing board, but I'm sure, with all your support, we will get there. It'll be co-led by the IIT London Alumni Chapter, but we request and urge participation from every alumni chapter, globally. We want to host it as a series in the style of the Olympics. Just as the Olympics are held every 4 years, this event, we hope, will be held every 2 years in a new destination. It starts with London 2020, and it'll go on to maybe San Francisco 2022, Singapore 2024, and showcase all that is mighty and great and wonderful about IIT Kharagpur. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient is K. Raja Venkatraman, 1977 BTech MERP. Mr. Venkatraman is involved in the world's tallest tower, Burj Khalifa, in the specialized area of vertical transportation engineering, among other small, super tall towers globally in the last 4 decades. And he gave a very good lecture in our department just a few days back. He's a very enthusiastic about alumni and has been part of many alumni activities, including galvanizing the alumni in the Middle East, particularly UAE. In the UAE, he created IIT KGP alumni identity in the mid-1980s after moving there for work. Mr. K. Raja Venkatraman.
When we took up very, very tall towers, the confidence of KGP was what really took us to take those challenging projects. And we did the world's tallest tower, Burj Khalifa. Then now we are designing one more project in Saudi Arabia, which is taller than Burj Khalifa, going 1,000 meters vertically above. That's from the professional side. And as IIT, I should say, under PPC's leadership and Arjun, Jaitli and others, this IIT Kharagpur is really going vertical in a very, very strong manner. I'm really uh, I have full of appreciation for whatever is happening in IIT Kharagpur. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient is Mr. Devendra Jain, 1969 BTech ME NH. Shri Devendra Jain is the Executive Director, Easy Solutions Private Limited, Australia. Shri Jain was the founder president of IITians Association of Australia. In 2007, for 5 long years, he organized joint conference for all IIT directors, including KGP, with vice chancellors of eminent Australian universities to promote research, faculty exchange, and IIT brand in Australia. Shri Devendra Jain.
Students, fellow alumni, and faculty members, a very good afternoon to you, first of all. I must share an interesting experience that I had last night at the guest house. There were 2 gentlemen whom I was talking to, and they happened to be research scientists from Taiwan. And at the end of the chat, one of them said to me, "You must be very proud to graduate from such a distinguished and well-known institute all over the world." That made my day. And I believe, this is my opinion, that the credit for that largely goes to PPC, director who has forged so many foreign alliances and raised the profile of IIT Kharagpur in a significant manner, I should say. Now, a few words on a film that is being made on IIT Kharagpur. Now, it's a film that's not being made by IIT Kharagpur or any organization, because that would be singing your own song. Now, this is a film that is being made by the alumni on how IIT Kharagpur empowered them to achieve what they achieved and the impact that they made. Not only that, the film is also about the contribution that IIT Kharagpur has made to the country through its various programs and the technology that is developed here. Film will be released by the end of this month, and hopefully lakhs of IITians all over the world would see it. I thank all who participated in the film, notably PPC himself, Mr. Arjun Malhotra, sitting here on the first row. And I feel that I feel very proud, and I feel this is my humble contribution to a great institution that gave me so much. And lastly, this morning I was hearing a song of Burman that "O jaane wale laut ke fir aana, ye ghat ye baat kabhi bhool na jana." So I'm back here. I haven't forgotten the ghat and haven't forgotten the baat. Thank you.
Our next recipient is Mr. Varadarajan Sheshamani, 1969 BTech ME NH. Mr. Sheshamani is the Director, ISA Impex Private Limited, Bengaluru. Mr. Sheshamani started his career as an entrepreneur starting his own company. He specialized in mechanical manufacturing operations, factory operations, tool design and manufacture of mobile and secure communication systems, development and manufacture of food processing, extrusion cooker lines. Mr. Sheshamani was one of the first few members who founded the Bangalore chapter of the IIT Kharagpur Alumni Association in 1971, with his office being the chapter address where it operated for 23 years. Mr. Sheshamani.
Director PPC, deans, and friends. Yeah, it was quite a surprise to me that I was given this award 2 years back, and I've now come to take it. I take it on behalf of all the alumni who've been associated with me over the years, you know, on behalf of my employees and my partner, who all have actually supported me in the entire effort to do things for the alumni. But actually, a confession is that it was always a pleasure to deal with the alumni and to deal with the institute. I mean, all these years, because meeting an IIT Kharagpur alumnus has always been a pleasure. And our office was open house for any alumnus who came from anywhere over the decades, and that's how we were able to, you know, get more and more interested in institute. There is something about IIT, the spirit of IIT that, you know, runs through all of us, and makes us so feel very special when we meet another alumnus. And then when we were able to have regular alumni meetings in Bangalore and, you know, keep growing the activities and get involved, do projects together, that was even better. And I think, I don't know whether it's the institute that should give me an award or whether me and all of us, all of our alumni should actually give an award to the institute for having created such a fantastic organization and a fantastic, I don't know what to call it, some kind of network that makes Kharagpur people feel so close and do very effective things. And for this, I wanted to thank all the institute and through the years and all the people who are, you know, pushing things in the institute today, and all the alumni who over the years who kept on doing their bit for the alumni itself and for the institution. And I just hope that we will all have the opportunity to do even more for the institution. I certainly would be very happy to keep doing something little bit as much as possible for the institution anytime. Thank you very much.
From the year 2018, IIT Kharagpur has begun conferring the Young Alumni Achiever Award. This is to send out a loud message about how proud their alma mater feels about the accomplishments and distinctions of its young achievers. We are fortunate to have one of our Young Alumni Achiever awardees amongst us today, Dr. Siddhartha Das. Dr. Siddhartha Das, 2005 to 2010, BTech, PhD, ME, LLR. Siddhartha is an eminent scientist, researcher, and mentor. He is presently Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, University of Maryland. Professor Das is an emerging academic leader who has pioneered several path-breaking discoveries in nanoscale fluid mechanics and soft materials, such as the principle of drop motion on soft surfaces, drop behavior on 2D materials, ionic effect regulated DNA, dynamics in nanopores, charging of plasma membranes, and superfluidity in functionalized nanochannels. He is also a committed teacher and a mentor. Siddhartha Das.
Hello. I'm very nervous. Thank you, PPC sir. Thank you, respected deans, my seniors, very seniors. Some of you are older than my parents. After I completed my high school education, my only education in terms of degrees has been from IIT Kharagpur. I entered here as 18 and a half years old, knowing nothing, then graduated with a PhD. The biggest challenge that I have faced have been to always strive towards excellence in research, to be at par with a PhD candidate working at, say, MIT or a Harvard. My PhD advisor, I must take his name, Professor Suman Chakravarty, always used to tell me that whenever you're feeling down, open the web pages. In those days, I'm saying 2006, 2007, even the MIT grad students had their individual web pages with their publications and so on, and compare yourself where you stand in comparison to them. I have been immensely indebted to this institute and to Professor Chakraborty and to one person whom I would like to name here, Professor S.K. Som. Professor Shankar Kumar Som, who was a former department chair of mechanical engineering as well as former director of the institute. They have shaped my career. They have instilled in me the confidence that I can take on, I can challenge the finest in the world. With entirely Indian education, entirely. It feels sometimes that I'm fighting a race against tide, when I'm challenging, when my projects are being pitted against the projects from MIT or a Harvard or a Caltech group, but I fight on. And it's the KGP spirit that keeps me fight on. Thank you once again for this wonderful, wonderful award. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations to the awardees. May I request you, the awardees, back on stage for a group photograph, please. Sir, may I please ask you to stay back on stage for a minute? I now invite our Honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathy Chatterjee, to address the audience.
To all our distinguished alumni who have come here, I am in real trouble. Today morning, yesterday evening I informed our deans that I'll make a PowerPoint presentation, and then today morning I made it and sent it at lunchtime. The associate dean told me it's all rubbish. You don't need to present that. So you might as well go and say something. Now, he didn't say rubbish, but that was the indication. So I was happy for one thing, and you should be happy about it, that this is the level of unity and camaraderie of our team at IIT Kharagpur. We have very little feudal hierarchy, and we work together constantly as a team. So I really didn't know what to do at lunchtime, so I asked them to load a song so that at least we can start off with it. And as we play the song, I will request all of you to kindly stand up.
कर्मसु कौशलम् योगा कर्मसु कौशलम् नैके क्षेत्रे वर्णयोगः कर्मसु कौशलम् आदर्शाय प्राणदास्मभायम् योग कर्मसु कौशलम् योग कर्मसु कौशलम् विद्या और बुद्धि के ज्वाला का ऐसा है प्रकाश खेल संस्कृति और ज्ञान के मेल का बहुआकाश जीवन नित्यम लो प्रतिभंगिमा निर्दम द्वंगा कलाश्मका में विशाल मैना विराट मैना सूत्रधारी प्रेरी प्रीतमे योग कर्मसु कौशलम योग कर्मसु कौशलम आकाशाजी हार मेने लोके मोरा जाबो ताई देशेर तरे खाटছি সবে এই আমাদের গর্ব ভাই योग कर्मसु कौशलम योग कर्मसु कौशलम विद्युत भवन कृषि विज्ञान यांत्रिकी वर्चल नारी गारी या सर्वाची स्तुति आजी पूजा ने विच होताले किताब विच नाम है सदा IIT खरगपुर लोका दामन बावुदा शोर गोल योगी दूर ऐसी प्रभावशाली चेष्टा का है यह परिणाम बंधुत्व के चरम उदाहरण को कोटिशय प्रणाम नैके क्षेत्रे वर्ण योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् आदर्शाय प्राणदास्मभायम् योग कर्मसु कौशलम् योग कर्मसु कौशलम् योगा कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Thank you. Can we have the lights on, please? Tarapodo. So this Institute Anthem is actually written by KGPians, by alumni of the Institute who were students. This is written in multiple languages. This has got, as you have observed, about 7 languages or 8 languages are there in this Institute Anthem. It is played in every convocation. Nowadays, it is played in every convocation. We all being part of this IIT Kharagpur journey are actually not aware of the impact, not fully aware of the impact that we have all created together. And this impact, which is articulated in a few people here, it is because of the alumni of the institute, the faculty, the staff, the students, and a large number of well-wishers of the institute who have benefited from us, that we have this name. And over the years, certain things, while remaining constant, like the food of the mess, the institute has enormously evolved. Today, our annual intake of students is 3,000 per year. And unlike what you may have imagined, we have 12,000 students on campus, of which 3,000 are PhD students. As you all know, that IIT Kharagpur has been pioneering almost 60 to 70% of the new initiatives that have come out of this system. Today, other than science, engineering, humanities, you may have already heard that we started the first management school, we started the first law school, we started this first school of medical science and technology, and we also started the first science and technology entrepreneurship park. People will, I don't know whether they are going to take you, but at least from somewhere here on campus itself, you can see that a huge research hospital, 400-bed research hospital is coming up on the campus, which will be another unique addition to the IIT system. We have also started looking at the requirements for the modern age. We have started some very, very unique programs. And today there is a lot of flexibility that a student can take in terms of moving across disciplines and learning new things. We have started new concepts called micro-specializations, which are specializations which cut across disciplines, and anybody, any student in any category can go and take it. We have started a new program of a certification of post-PhD. In terms of research, and I don't want to elaborate too much, we have not only done very high technology stuff, but we have really touched the lives of people. There are farmers here. There are people who have been benefited by very, very unique advanced technology directly applied to the field. All this said and done, there is enormous amount of work that we have left to do. The amount of things that we are seized with for an institute of this dimension, size, capability must have its ambitions and targets much, much higher. Therefore, we have embarked upon a larger and a bigger plan which involves massive internationalization, complete restructuring of our governance structures, very high impetus on both fundamental as well as advanced research, and a big outreach program that will connect to academia, industry, and everybody else. And most importantly, we will work on certain areas which really touch the lives of people. And I will share with you one example of what or 2-3 examples of what we have taken the leadership on, and that is gaining international significance. The first, you may be aware that we have developed the National Digital Library of India. This is a digital library that provides free access of content to every citizen of the country. So today, something that was started in 2015 with a modest target of having 5 lakh material available to people, today has got 2.1 crore indexed content in 30 languages, providing free textbooks, question banks, material, and everything which is free for every citizen of the country. This is a starting point of one of our first steps. Many of our programs of bringing international faculty into the institution or serving research grants and working with international organizations have turned out to be national programs. The global initiative of academic networks, coordinated by IIT Kharagpur today, brings in top international experts from all over the world at the rate of 800 per year to nooks and corners of this country, from Mizoram to Trivandrum to Kashmir, including IIT Kharagpur, of course, and provides them with access to the best international experts. We have now started and advanced this to a research program with 28 countries. And with 28 countries, we are embarking on joint research collaborations to ensure state-of-the-art research in 20 themes. On the other side, we have adopted villages. There is a village about half an hour from here, which we have completely transformed. And just day before yesterday, the technologies developed for rural India, small machines which bring about entrepreneurs, were requested by governments of the Northeast and were sent from here to the Northeast. We now have a challenge of becoming an institute of global reputation. And in order to do that, IIT Kharagpur has realized that it needs to collaborate with the best. And we started some unique programs. IIT Kharagpur, IIM Calcutta, and Indian Statistical Institute started a program called Postgraduate Diploma in Business Analytics, where the students gain experience from all the 3 institutes. And in 2 years, it is ranked 14th in the world. Similar programs have started in areas of deep science. Similar programs we are starting in interdisciplinary areas with other institutes, both in India and abroad. However, as we grow, we have realized that 700 faculty members are not enough for us to attain this global standing. And it will require us not only to grow our faculty, our doctoral, our postdoctoral, undergraduate, postgraduate. Here is where we have a gold mine, an already available gold mine. And that already available gold mine, ladies and gentlemen, are you. But if we are to expect to start connecting with all of you and getting all of you on board, it is a big and difficult exercise. Alumni are as easy as well as hard to get. So it is where this gold mine, and if we tap, and if we are able to really make use of our alumni, we will be able to beat the best in the world, at least challenge them. So I request your help. See the set of people who are sitting here. If you look at IIT Kharagpur alumni, we have had heads of the most august institutions of this country. And here are several people here who have headed such institutions. Obviously we have chief ministers, we have had central ministers. There are only two types of people we have not yet had. On one, we are knocking at the doors. We have not had a justice of the High Court or Supreme Court of India. But within 10 years of the law school, you are already hearing of star lawyers who are fighting unique cases in this country, in the Supreme Court and in the High Courts. And while we have had players who have played for Ranji Trophy in India, we have still not had people who have represented India in sports. But there also we have made a beginning. We, in the last state athletics meet, we won our first medals in state athletics. And when I met these students, I was telling Arjun today, when I met these students, I asked them, did you do all these when you were in school? They said, no, sir, we learned everything here. And if I will request our team here to take you around the new Gyan Ghosh Stadium that is coming up. Meenakshi, you must see. It is the latest state-of-the-art athletics track coming up. Nowhere in any IIT you will have such a level of athletics tracks. So in order to ensure that the IITians grow up into the finest citizens of tomorrow, we have decided to do something very, very different. In addition to centers, schools, departments, professors, and things like that, we are creating academies which will cut across disciplines and enrich everyone on campus. Everyone on campus. The first academy that we are going to initiate, we have initiated, is called the Academy of Leadership. Again, it is funded by an alumnus. The second academy that we are going to launch on 6th of February is the Academy of Cultural and Folk Arts. That again is going to be funded by the alumni. You have no idea of how many great artists we have in the alumni. And I am now collecting paintings of our alumni. I'm asking them, you donate your paintings, 100 years from now, they will become priceless items. When we don't get money from anywhere else, they will be there. So yesterday I took one from Chandrakant. Are you there? The third academy that we will create is the Academy of Sports. In the Academy of Music and Folk Arts, let me tell you, it's just not practicing music. We are working with the top musicians and singers of this country to determine the foundations of Indian ragas. And let me tell you, the first results that have come out show that their grammar defies standard grammatic logic. And this is going to produce new knowledge. This is where our own heritage will enable us to bring new knowledge to the world which does not exist. So the third academy, as I said, will be an academy of sports. Here again, we want to work with the best people to try and decipher the science and technology of sports. We want to convert our academic programs where the theory of vibrations has a few classes on the tabla, where kinetics, motion, and material science is taught by finding out how you can do reverse swing. We need to bring back into learning something very, very interesting, and that is founded on deep science and technology. It is again here where we need help of alumni. We have created several instruments by which alumni can help us, but I think that you all are better placed, and I will be very happy to listen to people who want to know and want to help us without drawing too much energy from us. You know, I have a problem, and I don't know how to solve this problem. 60,000 alumni want to do something, and everybody wants to talk to the director about it. And I try my best, but that is not possible. And you must also know that while the other IITs are talking a lot about doing and returning, and we also have a lot to do, but you also do not have any idea of what the alumni have done for the institute. Almost all the new things that have come up, whether it's the School of Management, the School of Telecom, the School of Law, the Center for Happiness, the School of Petroleum, the Center for Quality, all the new things that have come into the IIT system, and all these academies that are coming up are all funded by alumni. IIT Bombay mentioned that one of their batches had contributed or pledged 24 crores. And IIT Madras, some batch has pledged 14 crores. And I'm sure that you all will do more by the end of this weekend. But I just want to let you know that among several batches, if you just take the 1970 batch, and I was calculating with Arjun, more than 50 crores have been given by that one batch already. A similar amount must have been given by 67 batch. And when I was calculating the way the institute needs to grow and become independent, I really request all of you to think how we can get all the efforts and talent and support from the alumni. This is one place where all of us came as young people, whether there was the son of a rural farmer or the son of a rich businessmen. They stayed in the same hostel room, made it dirtier than before. Ate that same roti, dub, 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 wiping away whatever they could. But I have hardly seen a person who did something which was traditional in their family. Everybody went on to do a different thing in life. And this transformation that IIT brings in and IIT KGP brings in is the bonding that you feel to come back. So let me welcome you again to what all of us call home. Let me again tell you how happy we are that you are here, and that this lunch today is not the food everybody gets in the mess, and that you may not get the same lunch that you got today when you go to the hostels. But let me assure you that this is a place which will continue to be a place where your background, your home finance, your nothing matters for getting your education. There are people here on campus who come from such difficult rural circumstances. They come from places where they have broken families. They come from places where they have a mother and nobody else at home, and that illiterate mother doesn't know what to do, and we take care of them all. These 2 days of happiness will not give you the impression of all the things that goes on today on campus. So I will request you to come back again and again. And the more you come back, the more you will realize how important this once a jail, still a jail for students who come here, is for this nation. So I again request you not only to enjoy yourselves, but to think what we can do to ensure that this, probably the best effort out of independent India, the best brand name out of independent India, continues to remain, grow. And it is when you are really doing well that you need to plan how to do better. Thank you again. Welcome to IIT Kharagpur. Have fun and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, sir, for that very inspiring speech. I call on stage the General Secretary, Students Alumni Cell, Ms. Vasanta Majeti, to take over the proceedings from here.
Thank you, Chiroshri. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate the grand reunions of our golden, silver, and ruby jubilee batches. Let us enshrine this joyous moment in our memories forever by proceeding with batch-wise felicitations, followed by batch photographs. I request all alumni to stay back on stage after receiving the memento for the batch photograph, and I also request our Honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathy Chatterjee, to join us on stage and do the honors. Let us begin with the batch of 1969. Mr. Abhijit Ray. Mr. Abhijit Ray. Mr. Ajit Singh Nandre. Mr. A.B. Sahu.
So just before we start, let me tell you that this time we are giving you a small memento. This memento is also made by a company of our alumnus. Alumni-driven company, a very unique stainless steel etching technology. And he came and said that I have this technology, and so we decided that we will use that technology to give you the memento.
I repeat, Mr. Abhijit Ray, Mr. Ajit Singh Nandre, Mr. Aparajit Bandyopadhyay, Mr. A.B. Sahu, Mr. Arun Kochar, Mr. Arun Pradeep Sinha, Arun Prakash Das, Arun Sahai, Arup Kumar Sen, Mr. Arvind Jain, Ashish Kumar Das, Ashok Jain, Ashok Kumar Mittal, Ashok Baral, Ashok Sen Gupta, Atmaram Gobind Hashmat Rai, Mr. Balbir Kumar Mathur, Mr. Binayak Panda, Biswanath Bandyopadhyay, Mr. Chanchal Kumar Kashnabis, Channagiri Ravindra Pandit, Chetan Kumar Jain, S.K. Jain, Mr. Devendra Singh Deepak, Mr. Duburi Subbarao, Ganti Prasad Rao, Harish Kumar Srivastav, Harshvardhan, Mr. K. Raghunandan, Kamalaksha Goswami, Mr. Kedar Narayan Mohanty, Krishen Mehta, Krishnapal Singh, Lalit Shukla, Mahendra Singh, Mohan Rao, Nandlal Maurya, Mr. Narendra B. Doshi, Nitin Parekh, Partha Roy, Parthasarathy Mukhopadhyay, Firoz Patel, Prabir Kumar Basu, Prabjeet Singh, Pradeep Chakrabarti, Pradyot K. Sen, Pranab Kumar Devnath, Pranab Kumar Guha, Your name is in the end. It's all right, sir. You can take the yeah. Pranab Kumar Guha, Purasi Patnaik, Rabindra Datta, Rabindranath Datta, Rajinder Kumar Goel, Rameshwar Prasad Gupta, Ramnath S. Mani, Ratan Sen Gupta, Ratneshwar Prasad, Ravi Neelkant Pachawali, Ravish Chandra Maheshwari, Miss Roma Mansukhani, Sagar Kumar Pal, Sagana Chakrabarti, Samir Adhikari, Shankar Ghosh, Sati Prasad Bandyopadhyay, Satish Kumar Quatra, Satyanshu Kundu, Shashi Ranjan Sinha, Subhash Chandra, Sitangshu Mauli Basu, Somi Saran, Somnath Nag, Srimai Basu, Srish Chatterjee, Subhash Sinha, Subir Kumar Ray, Subrata Ray, and I request all alumni to please note that the stands to place these memento on are already in the registration kit that you might have already received or will receive at the registration desk. Mr. Somnath Nag, Srimai Basu, Srish Chatterjee, Subir Kumar Ray, Subrata Ray, Subrata Sen Gupta, Ms. Suchitra Sen, Sudarshan Arora, Mr. Sudhir Kumar Guha,
I have a classmate who's sitting there, R.M. Ghosh, Rabindranath Ghosh. Just his name is wrongly spelled as Datta. That's
Okay.
wrong. Rabindranath Ghosh, R.M. Ghosh.
yes sir. Mr. Rabindranath Ghosh, Mr. Susanta Das Gupta, Sudhir Kumar Guha, Mr. T. Venkateshan, Tapan Sen, okay sir, it's okay sir, it's okay. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir, it's all right. You can take it. Mr. Susanta Das Gupta, Mr. Uday Bhanudas, Mr. Udayan Banerjee, Mr. Umesh Chandra Gupta, Mr. Varadarajan Sheshamani, Mr. Vijay Kumar Gupta, Mr. Vijay Rai, Mr. Vijay Umesh Tonse, Mr. Sudhanshu Sen Gupta, Mr. Surinder Jain, Sonu Chandramani, Mr. Deepak Chandramani, Mr. Subir Paul, Mr. Daljit Singh, Mr. Dharamveer, Mr. Jagdishwar Sahai, Mr. Jagdishwar Sahai, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Dwivedi. If there's anyone from the batch of 1969 who I have missed out, Mr. Ravinder Jain. Is there anybody else who I missed out? Please come on stage and collect your memento. Everybody please note that the stands for the memento are in the registration kit. The batch of 1969 can head to the arena. Sir, where you had lunch? Where you had lunch? Yes. For the batch of 1969, please head to the arena. The next event is department visit. I repeat, batch of 1969, please head to the arena. The next event is department visit. The departments have made special arrangements to welcome you and they're open only till 5:30. So please stay back in arena and we'll start the department visit as soon as this ends. The arena is the area right next to Kalidas Auditorium where you all had lunch. Batch of 1969, please head to the arena, which is the space right next to the auditorium where you all had lunch. The next event is department visit. No sir, this is only for 69 batch. They have not done the registration yet. Sir, they have given me instructions to do so. Only the batch of 1969 will leave, sir. All the other batches will stay back. Because the 69 batch is not done the registration and they don't have the right card, so they can't go to the party.
What time is that?
Sir, it starts around 4:30. 4:30 it will start, sir. Department meeting. Maximum by 4:30. I request all alumni to settle down before we proceed with the batch of 1979. I repeat, I request all the other alumni of the batch of 1979 and 1994 to please settle down while we proceed with the memento distribution for the next batch. I repeat, let us begin with the memento distribution for the next batch. May I request all alumni to please settle down. Mr. Alok Kumar, from the batch of 1979, Mr. Alok Kumar. Mr. Anil Kumar Srivastav. Mr. Arvind Sriram Patil. Mr. Ashim K. Datta. Mr. Ashok Chattopadhyay. Mr. Chetan Date. Mr. Chinmoy Banerjee. Commander V.K. Jaitley, Mr. Dipankar Moitra, Mr. Golok Bihari Nando, Mr. Hemant Late, Mr. Jayant Kumar Rotre, Mr. Judhishthir Pandey, Mr. K.G. Krishnamurthy, Mr. Kiran Chandra Vasant Sule, Mr. Madhusudan Sahai, Mr. Maninda Satyamurthy, Mr. Madhusudan Sahai, Mr. Maninda Satyamurthy, Mr. Mukul Kumar Chaudhary, Mr. Nalin Mehta, student volunteers, please assist the alumni of the 1969 batch. Mr. Nalin Mehta, Mr. P.S. Harimohan Pillai, Mr. Rajiv Basin, Mr. Ranjan Bhaduri, Mr. Ravi Jairam Tikekar, Mr. Sahai Raj, Mr. Sanjay R. Shirgaunkar, Mr. Sridhar Jagannathan, Mr. Sukumar Chandra, Mr. Sumit Banerjee, Mr. Suresh Nair, Mr. Surajit Mukherjee, Mr. Vipin Asija, Mr. Yajilu Maduri, Mr. Raj Krishnan. If there's anyone of the batch of 1979 and I haven't taken the name, please come on the stage and collect your memento. If there's anybody from the batch of 1969 who I've missed out, please get on the dais and collect your memento. Mr. Prashanta Gupta of the batch of 1969. So you'll get an individual photo with the director. Thank you. Batch of 1979 are requested to stay back in the auditorium. Batch of 1979, please stay back in the auditorium. We'll have the address by the Vice President and the Registrar after this, so please stay back in the auditorium. And at the request of Mr. Vijay Krishna from the batch of 1994, they all want to take a photograph together on the same stage, even though they are 140 in number. And he also requested me not to announce any names, so you can queue up.
calling you.
Everyone please note that the next event lined up is department visit. All your departments have made special arrangements to welcome you. So it's a sincere request to head to your departments. There are buses waiting outside to take you there. Yes, ma'am. The departments are open only till 5:30, so please head to your departments as soon as possible. There are buses waiting outside to take you. Thank you very much for your patience. We hope you have a lovely stay at KGP. All alumni, please head to the department visit event. There are buses waiting outside to take you.